It's time to go over the Miami Dolphins and figure out which one of these guys is fantasy relevant and who you need to be targeting into this offense. Let's go ahead and pull up the depth chart here real quick. Let's look at the quarterback position. We all know Tua Tagovailoa there with Mike White as the backup quarterback. Now Tua is everybody that he got a new contract, right? We're all focused on this guy, what he can provide, right? He has some elite weapons to throw the football field, down to the football field like Tyreek Hill, right? He knows he can go down there, throw those bombs down there, have those big games. But as far as Tua goes, we're not really seeing stud performances from the quarterback position from a fantasy football relevant type of standpoint. Most of that situation because of how good this running game is with Raheem Mostert and De'Von Achane. These guys are running the football all over. So Tua doesn't need to sit there and throw for 400 yards receiving. Now, he can provide fantasy relevancy, obviously, with Tyreek Hill, maybe some games, maybe Jalen Waddle, but not really the same game. You never see Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle go ham toss on the same game. And that's all because Tua isn't throwing for 350 to 400 yards every single game. So as far as fantasy football goes, probably not the best option that you want to definitely go with. He's had his ups and down games, right? We kind of knew what he was going to be, right? When he came into the league, he was highly touted, supposed to be a really, really good quarterback. He started a little bit on the rocky side, if you wouldn't ask me, had some concussion problems as well. But now he's starting to come into his own. He signed a new contract now with the Dolphins. So he's the guy there, right? For NFL purposes, good quarterback to have. He can get the job done. He can deliver the football. For fantasy football, though, it's just a little bit different. He's not really giving you those top end type of numbers. Let's look at the running back position here real quick and kind of look over the depth chart and see what it says here. So we got Raheem Mostert, we all know, De'Von Achane, with Jalen Wright, the new rookie out of Tennessee, and Salvon Ahmed there at the running back position as well. This is almost going to be turned into still a two-headed monster. It's not really a three-headed monster. I know they got Jalen Wright, very, very fast, had a decent combine as far as a 40-yard dash. He did pretty good, right? So I think unless Raheem Mostert gets hurt, I think Jalen Wright's going to be a non-factor in fantasy football. If Jalen Wright is going to get in the game and be dominant, it's because Raheem Mostert is not there. I think Jalen Wright would then step in as that 1A running back, and Achane would still be the change of pace back. You don't see, just because of the body type of what Achane can provide for you, him being a bell cow type of back. But that's Jalen Wright, right? Now we talk about Raheem Mostert, right? He should be the 1A kind of guy, the first guy to get on the football field, and only being spelled by De'Von Achane. I mean, Raheem Mostert, as long as he can stay healthy, yes, he's a little bit older as far as running backs go, but he's providing some great value for you, and he's still got some good speed, even though he's starting to get up there in the age as far as running backs go. He was really good when he was with the 49ers, didn't really have the opportunity, had a lot of injury issues. Now over here with the Dolphins, we seen last year he can provide some solid fantasy football numbers. I like what Raheem Mostert can give to you now. De'Von Achane, you guys should know, on my channel, I have a lot of information about Achane and what he can provide for you for fantasy football. It's that he has some great boom games. And when I'm saying he has boom games, he has some boom games. But when he's absent, he's really absent. I mean, only running for a handful of yards, having less than 5 fantasy points on the week. And he can really burn you in fantasy football because you have to use such a high draft pick to get De'Von Achane on your roster if he's hurt for half the season. I think there was 8 games last season. He didn't really do anything. A bunch of cock-a-doodle for you, right? So it's just, do you want to take the risk, right? If you're in best ball, Achane, he's the one to go for. He can give you those dominant weeks, and you can win with this guy. But other than that, I don't know. He's just got a small frame, small body. He's not going to be known as the elite of the elite because he is the backup running back. He's a small frame kind of guy. And like I mentioned earlier, if Raheem Mostert goes down, De'Von Achane is not going to step in as the 1A guy. That's going to be Jalen Wright. That's the whole reason why they drafted the guy. He's a bigger body type of running back and could take a lot of the brunt. Instead of just Achane, he can just come in here and hopefully he can break off himself 1 or 2 runs in a game and give you a solid fantasy production type of week. So let's go over the wide receivers here and look at the depth chart here for the Miami Dolphins. We're all starting here with Tyreek Hill there, Jalen Waddle, Odell Beckham Jr., Braxton Berrios, the rookie out of Virginia, Malik Washington, and a River, Craft, whatever we want to call the guy. I can never really even pronounce his name right half of the time, but we really want to talk about Tyreek Hill here, who can really just take the top off of a defense, give you a solid fantasy performance week in and week out. He is the man for this offense, and unfortunately, that is where Jalen Waddle comes in, right? So Jalen Waddle is one of these guys who come in and can give you a great game, right? But he's just not consistent enough because Tyreek Hill is on the field. As soon as Tyreek Hill retires, I'm telling you, I think Jalen Waddle will be the man for this offense. Odell Beckham Jr., they got him over here. He signed him over there. He played for the Ravens last year. Somebody, as long as he can stay healthy, could be a decent wide receiver 3 for this football team. He's not the Odell Beckham that you see from way back when, but there could be some sleeper appeal for Odell Beckham because he still has the juice to get the job done. He can still catch the football, and he can still be a valuable piece for your roster, guys. And other than that, Braxton Berrios, Malik Washington. A lot of people have Malik Washington. Just say, and before the signing of Odell Beckham Jr., I thought Malik Washington could win this wide receiver 3 role. With Odell Beckham there, I think they got to give homage to the veteran there. I think that just lets Malik Washington, it kind of burns his role there on the offense. Look for more of next year of Malik Washington to be relevant in this offense. I think if you're in a dynasty league, Malik Washington is great to have because once Odell Beckham Jr. goes away, Tyreek Hill ends up retiring, Jalen Waddle becomes the number 1 wide receiver for this football team. Malik Washington could easily fit in there as the number 2 wide receiver. He's got speed, he's got some juice, could provide you some fantasy football up, kind of upscale there, but not this year. I think more of maybe next year. Let's pull up the depth chart here real quick and go over these tight ends here. As we see, the Jonnu Smith is the new tight end coming over here for the Atlanta Falcons, will now be the starting tight end for the Dolphins with Durham Smythe there as well. Jonnu Smith's a good tight end. He was actually had some better fantasy outputs than Kyle Pitts last year for Atlanta. I think, unfortunately, the Dolphins just doesn't really utilize the tight end position very much to give you say, hey, look, this could be a pretty good show here for the Dolphins. Tua really doesn't target that. I mean, why would you want to target that when you got somebody like Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle out there? What's the need to target the tight end position? So overall, not somebody I'm like super high on. So if we kind of look at the entire roster from top to down, who do we want to target in fantasy football? I don't want to target Tua Tagovailoa. I would want to target Raheem Mostert this year and Devon Achane. Definitely those 2 running backs you want to target. Wide receivers, you want to target Tyreek Hill and you want to target Jalen Waddle. The problem is, don't grab Jalen Waddle too soon. Earliest I would grab him would be like a 3rd round pick. A lot of times he's going in the 2nd round right now, and I just don't agree with that type of value for a 2nd string wide receiver who really clearly plays second fiddle behind Tyreek Hill. But that is the Miami Dolphins. Make sure you guys are hitting the subscribe button. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button. It really helps out with the algorithm. Guys, we're pumping out videos each and every week to help you best prepare for your fantasy football draft. I can't wait to see you guys on the next video. We'll see you guys next time.